Anwar's recent public complaint against the Kerala police has sparked significant debate and concern across the state. Anwar has accused certain officers of misconduct, including corruption and abuse of power, raising critical questions about the integrity and accountability of the police force. His decision to go public has drawn attention to the broader issues of trust, efficiency, and fairness within Kerala's law enforcement system. Public reaction has been mixed. Some view Anwar's complaint as a genuine call for reform, potentially paving the way for much-needed changes in how the police operate. Others, however, are more skeptical, seeing this as a politically motivated move ahead of the upcoming elections. Concerns about the timing and potential political motives have made people question whether this situation will result in lasting reforms or be another fleeting controversy. Key issues raised by Anwar's complaint include police corruption, delays in handling cases, custodial deaths, and the general misuse of power. Many citizens feel the police act with impunity and are calling for better transparency, accountability, and independent oversight to address these deep-rooted problems. Trust in the police has been strained, with many questioning the force's ability to protect citizens' rights and safety. As public pressure mounts, people are watching closely to see how the Kerala government and police department respond. The outcome could have long-term effects on the relationship between the public and law enforcement, potentially influencing future policies, political dynamics, and public trust in institutions. Whether this leads to meaningful reforms or is dismissed as another political "Hey, have you been following the news about Anwar's complaint against the Kerala police? It's been all over lately, and people are talking about it everywhere."
Yeah, I've heard bits and pieces. From what I understand, Anwar alleges some serious misconduct within the police department. It's causing quite a stir, especially with how people already feel about the police in Kerala.
Exactly. There's been a lot of talk about corruption and inefficiency in the police force, not just in Kerala but across the country. But Anwar's complaint has put the spotlight on Kerala specifically, and it's making people question how much power and accountability the police really have.
What's surprising is how open he's been about it. Usually, politicians and law enforcement tend to keep these things behind closed doors. Anwar going public with this complaint says a lot about the current tension between the government and the police force.
It does. From what I've gathered, he's accused certain officers of abusing their power, and there's frustration over how cases are being handled. It's a sensitive issue, because the police are supposed to be the protectors, but when the people in power lose faith in them, it raises big concerns for everyone.
That's the thing, trust. People already have a complicated relationship with the police. Some feel like they're not doing enough, while others think the police are too powerful and can act with impunity. Anwar's complaint is feeding into that larger narrative.
Yeah, and now people are wondering if this is just the tip of the iceberg. If Anwar is openly accusing the police, what about the average citizen? Do they even stand a chance when they file complaints or report something?
Exactly. There is a sense of power imbalance here. The police have a lot of control over what happens in investigations, and if they are not held accountable, it leaves people feeling helpless. This case is forcing people to think about the larger issues like transparency, accountability, and the role of the police in society.
And it's not just about this one case. It's bringing back memories of other incidents where the police have been criticized. People are talking about the custodial deaths, cases of harassment, and delays in investigations. This complaint is amplifying all of those concerns.
I think what's also interesting is the political angle. Some people are saying that this is just political maneuvering, while others believe it's a genuine stand against police misconduct. It's hard to tell sometimes, but it's definitely causing divisions in how people view both the police and politicians.
True. I've seen people debating whether Anwar's motives are purely political or if he's actually trying to clean up the system. But either way, the fact that this is being discussed so openly is probably a good thing. It's shining a light on the need for reform in the police department.
It's not going to be easy, though. Reforming the police force, especially in a state like Kerala where there's a long history of political and police entanglement, is a big challenge. But maybe this public attention will force some changes.
I hope so. People are tired of the same old issues. There needs to be better oversight and more transparency. If the police aren't held accountable, how can they serve the people? Anwar's complaint might be the spark that gets people talking about real reform.
And the timing is crucial too. With elections coming up, this could influence how people vote. The way the government handles this situation, whether they take it seriously or brush it aside, will impact how people view not just the police, but the entire political system.
Absolutely. If the government ignores this, it sends a message that the concerns of the people don't matter. But if they actually investigate and address the issues, it could restore some trust in the system.
Let's see how it plays out. I think this is going to be a defining moment for the relationship between the police, politicians, and the public in Kerala. People are watching closely, and the response could have long-lasting effects.
Definitely. It's a critical time. The future of policing in Kerala might depend on how this complaint is handled and what changes, if any, come from it. Everyone's hoping for more transparency and justice. What exactly is the complaint that Mullah Anwar has made against the Kerala police?
Mullah Anwar has accused certain police officers of misconduct, including corruption and abuse of power. His complaint highlights the inefficiency and questionable behavior within the force, and he has gone public with it to bring attention to what he believes are systemic issues in Kerala's law enforcement.
How are people in Kerala reacting to Mullah Anwar's complaint?
Reactions are mixed. Some people feel this could lead to much-needed reforms in the police department, while others believe it's a political move ahead of the upcoming elections. There is concern that the complaint might not result in any meaningful change, given the long history of corruption and lack of accountability within the police.
Why did Anwar choose to go public with his complaint instead of handling it privately?
By going public, Anwar may be trying to put pressure on the authorities to take the complaint seriously. It could also be a way to rally public support and highlight what he believes are deeper issues within the police force. Some speculate that it could also have political motivations, aiming to influence public perception ahead of elections.
What are the key issues people in Kerala face with the police?
Common concerns include corruption, delays in handling cases, custodial deaths, and the general misuse of power. Many citizens feel that police officers often act with impunity, and there is a growing demand for more transparency, accountability, and reforms in the way law enforcement operates.
Is the Kerala government taking any action in response to Mullah Anwar's complaint?
As of now, there has been no major official response. However, public pressure is building, and people are expecting some form of investigation or inquiry. The government's response will be crucial in determining how seriously they take the issue and whether this complaint will lead to reforms.
Can this situation lead to actual reform in the Kerala Police Department?
It's possible, but many are skeptical. While Anwar's complaint has brought the issue into the spotlight, the police force is deeply embedded in the political and administrative systems. Meaningful reform would require strong political will and sustained public pressure. Some believe that this could be a catalyst for change, while others fear it may just be another temporary controversy.
Do people in Kerala trust the police to protect their rights and safety?
Trust in the police is a complicated issue. While there are many honest officers who do their duty, a significant portion of the population feels the police can be corrupt, slow to act, or even complicit in wrongdoing. Mullah Anwar's complaint has heightened these concerns, making people question how well the police are serving the public.
How does Mullah Anwar's complaint relate to the broader political climate in Kerala?
Some see this complaint as part of a larger political strategy. With elections approaching, there is speculation that this could be a move to gain public attention and put pressure on the ruling government. It has also sparked debates about the relationship between politics and policing in Kerala, and whether politicians use law enforcement for personal or political gain.
What do ordinary people think should be done to address these issues in the police force?
Many people are calling for more transparency, accountability, and better oversight of the police. Some suggest independent committees or civilian boards to review police conduct, while others emphasize the need for better training and stronger laws to prevent abuse of power. There is a growing belief that systemic changes are needed, not just temporary fixes.
How will this situation impact future relations between the public and the police in Kerala?
This could either deepen mistrust or lead to reforms that improve relations. If the government and police department respond effectively, it might restore some faith in law enforcement. However, if the complaint is ignored or dismissed, it could increase public dissatisfaction and make people feel even more disconnected from the institutions meant to protect.